Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, we're unraveling the fascinating truth behind the bicycle face myth and the empowering journey of women who embraced cycling in the late 19th century. Get ready to dive into a remarkable period of history where bicycles became a symbol of liberation and transformation for women across the world.
Have you ever wondered how the humble bicycle, a symbol of freedom and mobility, sparked a curious myth in the late 19th century? As the Industrial Revolution kicked into high gear, bicycles emerged as a beacon of affordable transportation, transforming the way people moved about. But it was more than just a way to get from point A to point B. The bicycle became an emblem of independence, a vehicle of liberation, particularly for women. In an era when women's roles and movements were heavily restricted, the bicycle offered an unprecedented sense of freedom. Women could now venture beyond the domestic sphere, exploring the world around them independently. Cycling became a healthful, liberating activity, a breath of fresh air from the stifling norms of the late 19th century. It was seen as a way to promote health, independence, and freedom. And with this rise in popularity, a peculiar myth began to circulate, known as the bicycle face. What if riding a bicycle could permanently alter your face? Sounds absurd, right? Yet this was the premise of the bicycle face myth that circulated in the late 19th century. The myth suggested that women who excessively indulged in cycling would develop a strained, overexerted, and unattractive facial expression, supposedly a result of intense concentration and exertion. It painted a rather grim picture of a woman's visage, marred by the very activity that was liberating her. This notion wasn't just a harmless fairy tale, it was a tool used to discourage women from cycling. The underlying message was clear: cycling was unladylike and could rob women of their beauty, their most prized possession. But here's the catch: this bicycle face myth is just that, a myth. Historians have delved into archives, sifted through documents, yet found no evidence to support this bizarre claim. However, historians have debunked this myth, finding no evidence to support it. Did you know? Cycling also played a crucial role in challenging the restrictive clothing norms of the 19th century. Picture this: corsets, heavy skirts, layers upon layers of fabric. That was the typical attire for women in the late 19th century. But with the advent of the bicycle, women started to realize that these cumbersome outfits were not only uncomfortable, but also downright dangerous when cycling. Enter a new era of dress reform. Cycling encouraged women to adopt more practical, health-conscious attire. We're talking shorter, more comfortable dresses. Gone were the corsets that restricted breathing. Instead, women embraced clothing that allowed them to move freely and breathe easily. And the benefits weren't just physical. The adoption of less restrictive clothing represented a symbolic shedding of societal constraints. It was a tangible expression of women's growing desire for independence and equality. So, not only did cycling promote physical health, it also contributed to a significant cultural shift. The bicycle, a simple machine, became a powerful tool for women's liberation. The late 19th century saw the rise of cycling, a beacon of hope, a symbol of freedom and independence for women. It was more than just a mode of transport, it was a vehicle for social and cultural empowerment. Women for the first time were able to travel independently, break away from traditional confines, and even participate in sports. Yet every revolution encounters resistance. The conservative quarters of society, uncomfortable with the idea of women tasting freedom, raised moral concerns. They feared that cycling might lead to a greater sense of independence and autonomy among women, a notion they found unsettling. These critics clung to the myth of the bicycle face as a tool of discouragement, a way to restrain women from embracing the liberating power of the bicycle. The opposition to women's cycling, including the propagation of the bicycle face myth, was a reflection of the societal resistance to women's emancipation. So, was there ever a bicycle face craze? Let's dive into the truth. Historians have found no substantial evidence to back this claim. It seems the myth of bicycle face was an exaggerated tale, possibly spread by those uncomfortable with the idea of women breaking away from societal norms. These critics may have used the myth as a deterrent, attempting to associate cycling with an unattractive and strained facial expression. Yet, despite this fear-mongering, the bicycle became a symbol of liberation. It allowed women to challenge societal expectations, promoting their health, independence, and freedom. The bicycle wasn't just a mode of transportation, it was a catalyst for change, propelling women towards a future of greater autonomy and social empowerment. Thus, the bicycle face was not a medical condition, but a societal one, a reflection of the times when women's mobility was a subject of debate.